Hey, this is Once Bitten with Game 5 of Buckeye Battles 2013. So this is kind of interesting because it's my Empire versus a Dogs of War army, and that's not something you see very often. I think they allowed them to use the player-made, I guess the fan book, which I think is pretty cool. I can tell you though that as soon as my opponent walked up and saw my army, he got really upset because. Because I have cannons and lots of them. So let me just run through it. So this is the scenario. We brought an extra model to serve as a messenger, and your object is to get your messenger off the other side of the table. And the deployment's kind of weird. It's 12 inches in the middle, but it's actually 18 inches up on the side. So you could actually have easy first turn charges and stuff. If you get messenger across the table and off the other side, it's 250 victory points. If you keep your opponent from doing the same, you get 200 victory points. If you do both of those things, you get +2 bonus points. If your messenger completes a charge, you get +2 bonus points. And it says you get +1 for wounding the messenger, and I'm assuming that means wounding your opponent's messenger, not getting your messenger wounded. So, yeah, here on the right-hand side, this is where I'm going to push my messenger across. He's a model. He's actually a great sword model in the front rank of my halberdier unit. There's a piece of impassable terrain right by my knights, and so they're kind of angled off to the side. I figure my knights just need to hold stuff up. My halberdiers can take care of that unit in front of them. And other than that, yeah, at this stage, I'm really not worried about getting my messenger off the side of the board. I think I should be fine. So facing him are the marksmen of Miragliano, which are just crossbowmen that don't suffer long-range penalties. So a decent little shooting unit, but certainly nothing compared to halberdier unit. So these scouting units right in the middle of the table are called the Anaconda Amazons. Decent little scouting units, but again, as far as I'm concerned, this game, I don't really care about them. They're not going to take up my war machines before my war machines have any chance at all of doing what they need to do. In the middle of his deployment zone, he has Voland's Venators, or Venators. They have really two characters because Voland is in there, and they also has a Paymaster, which is basically a battle standard bearer. And Voland comes with whatever he does, and the Paymaster, they're just slightly harder to wound than everybody else, but pretty much it's that. So a decent little unit, but again, I don't think I'm not worried about it with my Inner Circle Knight unit. Then over here, so he's got a unit of duelists, which by themselves I'm not worried about. He's got 6 man-eaters. Now that's a tough unit. And he's got Arsenal the Dragon Lord. That is a serious tough unit. But of course, my opponent's concern is I have cannons because my cannons are a perfect counter to that dragon. So on this side of the table, I've got my fast cav, I've got my demigriffs, and my steam tank. So my thinking is the steam tank was put over here to hold up his duelist unit so that his messenger can't just easily come off the side of the board. But after deployment, basically my man-eaters are off, or my demigriffs are off here to the left. And I put them down last, and his man-eaters were already placed. And so I put them to where I have an easy first turn charge into the flank of the man-eaters. So pretty excited about that. And then, my plan is just shoot the dragon, and everything else in the table. I think I've got better matchups against everything he has. My steam tank can take care of the man-eaters, even if the demigriffs can't. Ideally, I can put the steam tank and the man-eaters and have the demigriffs take care of the duelists. I should also say that he has two level 4s, and I've seen this guy at tournaments before. I've never played him before, but he likes bringing lots of wizards. So personally, I'm not a fan of having 2 level 4s. I think you run out of power dice. But nevertheless, he has them, and they're both with that unit. So, okay, so here's my left deployment zone. Looks like that. And we go to turn 1. So my Pistoliers charged the Amazons in the forest. It's so funny. I charge in, I hit the woods, I fail two dangerous train tests, I panic and run away. Yeah. So up here, so my demigriffs declare charge to the flank of his man-eaters, and he flees. Because it probably wasn't a good matchup for him. And had he broken, he would have been in trouble. Had he stuck, his dragon could have charged the flank of my demigriffs. That would have been really bad for me. But I passed my redirect test. I redirect into these duelists with his 2 level 4s and his messenger. I forgot to say that. If you look at the very front left, there's a weird model there. That's a That's his messenger model. I need box cars to make it. It's so far away, and I roll it up and I roll box cars. So if these duelists hold, his dragon can countercharge to my flank. But I'm probably going to kill the messenger anyway. I might kill some level 4s anyway, and he doesn't have a very good chance of holding. And if I break him, I'm almost certainly going to run them down and the man-eaters. And that is a bad turn 1. That's the bad charge phase. So my right looks like this. I mean, whatever. And my cannons shoot. I mean, I have a steam tank and 2 cannons. All of them are aiming at that dragon. Between all 3 of them, yeah, I kill it easily. Demigryphs. One of his level 4s had a special weapon that kind of gave it killing blow against monsters' calves, so he killed a Demigryph, but so what? I killed the unit, ran him down, ran off the man-eaters, and essentially the game is over before my opponent even has a turn. And I don't like that. It's not a fun game. It's not fun for anybody at this point. So I offered my opponent, like, look, we can work something out just to end your misery here. And he's like, I never quit. And I was thinking, good man, I never quit either. So I don't even take a picture of his turn, because what does he have? He has a unit that can ambush. It's a flying unit. It's going to come on at some point. But okay, so this turn he has his knights. I think they tried to charge my knights and he failed. His crossbowmen shoot up my halberdiers. They kill somebody, doesn't matter. My turn, I charge the crossbows with my halberdiers, so I get that bonus point. I try to charge his knights, I fail it. Everything else moves, as you can see. There's that charge. Steam tank comes up, lays down a flame template on the Amazons and kill a bunch of them, and they flee. He completes a charge on his turn, but you know, might as well, but it's not going to do anything. Kills a couple. He probably wins. I'm crown of command. I stick. Empire turn 3. So my messenger's off the board. I reform my halberdiers. Everything else you can see. I'm not even sure if I'm casting magic spell. I probably am casting some magic, but for the most part, I'm just letting things run their course. This fight is a push. His ambushers come on way too little, way too late. They shoot my pistoliers and got a couple of them. We continue this fight. Go to Empire turn 4, and yeah, that is not a good place to be if you're a Voland, whatever they are. If you're a Dog of War. Yeah, so I mean, easily crush all the knights. He's left with a couple characters. I break him from combat. Get this. I pursue with everything I have. I've got 3 units with Swift Stride plus the halberdiers. I pursue his 1 remaining character with 1 wound left with all of them, and he gets away. He hits the woods, fails his dangerous terrain test, and dies. You have got to be kidding me. Yeah, really, really, really bad matchup for my opponent. You know, so there you go. I mean, it wasn't. We ended up laughing and having fun. He was a good sport about it. What's he gonna do? The game prior to this, he said that his dragon killed a demon prince, killed 2 chimeras, and took 3 wounds off a second demon prince. So the dragon's nothing to mess with. If I didn't have the shooting to take care of him, he would have wrecked my lines anywhere he got into. So it's kind of weird. It's like, I feel like, you know, I don't want to be cheesy and bring too many guns, but without those guns, the dragon would have overwhelmed me. So I don't know how I feel about it. Anyway, obviously I got 25 points for this wins. That's 5 games. I have 84 points total. 84 out of 125. When they added in painting and sportsmanship scores, I ended up tied for 14th place out of 108. So I ended up, I think, 14th place. I mean, I'm tied with 3 other people, but I think 14th place is better than I thought I would be after that crushing loss and a draw. Yeah. So overall, it was a great tournament. It's a very well run tournament. I was actually very pleased with the way I played. With the exception of Game 4, which I think is probably the worst game I've ever played. But other than that, the other 4 games, I think I played well, and yeah, had a lot of fun, and there you go. So that's 5 games of the tournament. Hope you enjoyed it.